The Gospel, according to Spiritism, contains explanations of the moral maxims of Christ, in accordance with Spiritism, and their application in various circumstances in life. By Allan Kardec, author of the Spirit's Book. Unshakable faith is only that which can meet reason face to face, in every human epoch. Translation of the French original title, L'Évangile selon le Spiritisme. Paris, 1864. Index. Preface. Introduction. 1. The objective of this work. 2. The authority behind the Spiritist doctrine. The universal control of the Spirit teachings. 3. Historical facts. 4. Socrates and Plato, the forerunners of the Christian idea and Spiritism. Chapter 1. I have not come to destroy the law, Moses, Christ. Spiritism, the alliance of science and religion, instructions from the spirits, the new era. Chapter 2. My kingdom is not of this world, the future life, the regality of Jesus, a point of view, instructions from the spirits, an earthly regality. Chapter 3. In my Father's house are many mansions, the different states of the soul in its spiritual wanderings, the different categories of inhabited worlds, earth's destiny, the cause of earthly miseries, instructions from the spirits, superior and inferior worlds, words of tests and atonements, regeneration worlds, the progression of the worlds. Chapter 4. Except a man be born again he cannot see the kingdom of heaven. Resurrection and reincarnation, family ties strengthened by reincarnation and broken by unity of existence. Instructions from the spirits, limits of incarnations, the need for incarnation. Chapter 5. Blessed are the afflicted, the justice of afflictions, causes of present-day afflictions, past causes of afflictions, forgetfulness of the past, motives for resignation, suicide and madness, instructions from the spirits, to suffer well or badly, evil and its remedy, happiness is not of this world, losing loved ones. Premature deaths, if he had been a good man he would have died. Voluntary torments, true misfortune, melancholy, voluntary trials. The true solace. Chapter 6, Christ the Consoler, the gentle yoke, the promised consoler. Instructions from the spirits, the advent of the Spirit of truth. Chapter 7, Blessed are the poor in spirit, what should be understood by the words poor in spirit. He who exalts himself shall be debased, mysteries that are hidden from the learned and prudent. Instructions from the spirits, pride and humility, mission of the intelligent person on earth. Chapter 8, Blessed are the pure in heart, simplicity and pureness of heart, sinning by means of thought. Adultery, true pureness. Unwashed hands, offences. If your hand is the cause of an offence, cut it off. Instructions from the spirits. Let little children come unto me. Blessed are those, whose eyes are closed. Chapter 9, Blessed are the meek and the peacemakers, insults and violence. Instructions from the spirits, affability and mildness, patience, obedience and resignation, anger. Chapter 10, Blessed are the merciful, forgive others so that God may forgive you. Reconciliation with your adversaries, the sacrifice most agreeable to God. The mote and the beam in the eye, do not judge others if you do not wish to be judged in return. He that is without sin, let him be the first to cast a stone. Instructions from the spirits, indulgence. Chapter 11, Love your neighbor as yourself, the greatest commandment. Give unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar, instructions from the spirits. The law of love, selfishness, faith and charity, charity towards criminals. Chapter 12, Love your enemies, return goodness for evil. Discarnate enemies, whosoever shall smite thee on a right cheek, turn to him the other also. Instructions from the spirits, vengeance, hate, dueling. Chapter 13, Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Do good without ostentation, hidden misfortunes, the widow's denarius, to invite the poor and the lame. Instructions from the spirits, material and moral charity, charity, pity, the orphans. Chapter 14, Honor your father and your mother, filial devotion, who is my mother and who are my brothers. Corporeal relationship and spiritual relationship. Instructions from the spirits, children's ingratitude and family ties. Chapter 15, Without charity there is no salvation, what the spirit needs in order to be saved. The parable of the Good Samaritan, the greatest of the commandments. The need for charity, according to St. Paul, without the church there is no salvation. Without truth there is no salvation, instructions from the spirits, without charity there is no salvation. Chapter 16, It is not possible to serve both God and mammon. The salvation of the rich, preserve yourself from avarice. Jesus in Zacchaeus, the parable of the bad rich man. The parable of the talents, the providential utility of riches. The inequality of riches, instructions from the spirits. True property, the application of riches, detachment from earthly possessions. Chapter 17, Be Perfect, Characteristics of Perfection. The good person, the good spiritist, the parable of the sower. Instructions from the spirits. Duty, virtue, those who are superior and those who are inferior, the worldly person, look after both body and spirit. Chapter 18, Many called, but few are chosen, the parable of the wedding feast, the narrow door, those who say, Lord, Lord. Much will be asked of he who receives much. Instructions from the spirits. To those who have will be given more. A Christian is recognized by his works. Chapter 19, Faith transports mountains, the power of faith. Religious faith. The state of unshakable faith. The parable of the dry fig tree. Instructions from the spirits. Faith, the mother of hope and charity. Human and divine faith. Chapter 20, Workers of the last hour. Instructions from the spirits. The last shall be the first. Mission of the spiritists, the workers of the Lord. Chapter 21, There will be false Christs and false prophets. A tree is known by its fruits. The mission of the prophets, the prodigies of the false prophets. Do not believe all the spirits. Instructions from the spirits. The false prophets, the character of the true prophet, the false prophets from the spiritual world, Jeremiah and the false prophets. Chapter 22, Whom God has joined together let no man put apart, the indissolubility of marriage. Divorce. Chapter 23, Strange moral, hate the parents, abandon father, mother and children, leave to the dead the care of burying their dead. I have not come to bring peace, but dissension. Chapter 24, Do not hide the light under a bushel, the light under a bushel. Why Jesus spoke in parables, do not keep company with the Gentiles. The healthy do not need a doctor, the courage of faith, carry your cross. He who will save his life, shall lose it. Chapter 25, Seek and you will find, if you help yourself then heaven will come to your aid, behold the fowls of the air, provide not gold in your purse. Chapter 26, Give for free what has been received gratuitously. The gift of healing, paid prayers, the money changers expelled from the temple, gratuitous mediumship. Chapter 27, Ask and it shall be given, the quality of prayers, the efficacy of prayer, the action of prayer. Transmission of thought, intelligible prayers, prayers for the dead and for suffering spirits. Instructions from the spirits, the way in which to pray, happiness proportioned by prayer. Chapter 28, A collection of spiritist prayers, preamble. 1. General prayers, the Lord's Prayer, spiritist meetings, for the mediums. 2. Prayers for yourself, to guardian angels and protecting spirits. To turn away the bad spirits, to ask to correct a fault. To ask for strength to resist temptation, thanksgiving for victory over a temptation. To ask for advice, afflictions of life, thanksgiving for the obtaining of a favor. An act of submission and resignation, when in imminent danger. Thanksgiving for having escaped a danger, at bedtime, on sensing approaching death. 3. Prayers for others, for someone who is afflicted, an act of thanksgiving for a benefit received by someone else. For our enemies and those who wish us ill, thanksgiving for blessings received by our enemies. For the enemies of Spiritism, prayer for a child that has just been born, for one who agonizes. 4. Prayers for those no longer on earth, for someone who has just died. Those for whom we have affection, for suffering spirits who ask for prayers. For an enemy who has died, for a criminal, for a suicide, for repentant spirits, for hardened spirits. 5. Prayers for the sick and obsessed, for those who are sick, for those who are obsessed.